Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to another tiny session of Age of Adventure RPG. I'm your GM Age, and with me tonight, I'm here with... Who am I here with? The Tango to my cash,
Oh,
TAZZ.
goodness. Okay. Yeah.
Does that bring you back?
That's the best compliment I've had all day.
Yeah, there you go. Tango and
Like that.
cash. I can't remember who's Tango and who's cash. Is Tango?
That's all right.
Yeah, anyway.
Well, you're the one who's doing this for a living, practically, and I'm just bumbling along. So I'm definitely Cash.
Who was Cash in the movie?
Hey, Cash was Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. Okay, yeah. You're the
Yeah,
larrikin.
he's the scrappy fella,
Yeah, the
and
scrappy.
and goes the dresses like
The
a
more
businessman.
refined man. All right, beautiful. I like a man that knows his movies, folks. I like a man that knows his movies. All right.
We're probably cut about 2/3 of our audience because
People
we're quite
Googling.
old compared to most people.
People Googling Tango and Cash. What?
Doing Cash.
All right. So this adventure is called The Doom in Dark Wood. And we'll do a bit of role-playing intro, I think. So at the end of our last adventure, the heroes were successful in escaping the Tomb of the Fallen and the treasures within. I'll just put Chip a bit lower because it seems to be getting louder. I don't know, it's creeping in.
It is. It's starting to get a bit more fired up.
Yeah, put it down a little
I'll
bit.
do the same. Keep going.
So with that, let us introduce our characters. And there is a third character. Woo!
There is.
Are you going to get a photo for us during this session, or that's too much to ask?
I will look for somebody. Yes.
Anyway, while you
I'll try. Hopefully, they don't break it.
introduce first, and then when I'm doing some narrative, you can look for a character. I think there is an image generator in here if you want to use it /image. I don't know if it works in this channel, but if you do /image,
nah.
yeah, it is. If you do, oh, it doesn't work for you.
How do I get it? I'm not sure.
In the post, you do /image. It's probably not activated for you. It's only activated for me.
/image.
Does anything come up saying model and prompt?
I've got commands matching
Yep.
/image.
And does one come up with like a purple sort of triangle? Or they all
No,
the
let's just stick to
circles?
it. I'll just cut and paste an image I
Yeah,
find, mate.
okay, cool. All right.
Anyway, so the two characters we're having today are our old friends Jirak, aka Jimmy the Mace, the Orcish warrior,
There he is.
whose mission in life is to bring down the Merchants Guild of the capital city of Ironspire, and his colleague Arabella Brockward, aka Ari to her friends. She is a halfling rogue who is searching for her missing brother Dudo, who was taken away by the Merchants Guild as payment for not paying their bills, essentially the family. We're also joined by hireling, a goblin barbarian known as, what is his name now? Johnny Bricks.
JB.
For one of JB to his mates. He's there to carry all the heavy stuff. And as soon as we find a picture...
Good old load bearer. And it's going to be annoying. I'm going to have to scroll down every time to find him to show everyone. But anyway, I might copy, cut and paste the NPCs under him at some point in the future if he survives this session. Let's just say that. Speaking of a few things that you've mentioned.
There's Johnny.
Oh, you got a picture of him, have you?
Put him in the chat.
Put him in the chat, not in the...
I don't know how to do that.
I don't even know where the chat, I can only see a picture of...
Voice rolls.
No, you didn't. Well, if you did, you didn't press enter.
You can't
I
see
can't
that?
see him. I can see...
There we go.
There we go.
If I press enter, there we go.
All right. He's quite bulky, this bloke.
Yeah, he's a barbarian.
All right, no worries. Let's put him in his character sheet, eh?
Sure.
J. Stockart, totally copyright free and available for everyone to share.
On the internet, it's available to all.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. All right, let's copy him here. It's a good one. I like the style of it. I mean, my computer's super
Seen better
slow.
days,
So
the old
probably
Johnny. But anyway,
let's paste him in there. Okay, he's underneath your character sheet of him now. The old
rightio.
Johnny. Now, all hirelings have what we call a temperament. So with that, you
Oh
can
yes.
roll 2d6. So just roll 2d. If you can see the, do you need the dice roller, or you can bring it up?
No, I'll just get the old one. 2d6.
56. Let's see. Temperament for 56. Where is it? Here we go. Hirelings, 56. 56. Humble. Never brags about his
Humble.
achievements. So you can update JB.
Really?
Yeah. What is he again? A
Okay.
goblin barbarian.
Humble Goblin Barbarian. So he's probably a bloke who says you don't want to make him angry. You wouldn't like him when he's hangry.
He got kicked out of his community because he was too humble. It didn't fit in.
Could be. He just wanted to be a quiet man left to his own devisings.
Yeah. Looks like he walked out with a chest on his way out too. He thought,
No, that's the equipment he's got to
I'll
carry,
take
mate.
this. Oh, I like it. Role playing, even in the image.
Yeah, that's it.
Beautiful. Back to yourself. You mentioned, this is one thing I always wanted to ask about Jimmy, but now that he survived a few adventures, you mentioned that he wants to bring down the Merchants Guild. How do you actually plan to do that? Is there a plan there?
Question.
Is there a plan there? Or is it just a
Not
will-o'-the-wisp hope?
Yeah, basically, yeah. He's before he became an adventurer, he was a bone breaker for a collections agency of the local Merchants Guild.
Okay.
And that's how he got his nickname, because his fellow workers called him Jimmy the Mace after seeing him in action.
Did you used to use a
But he
mace? 'Cause
slowly
you don't have a
became
mace now.
disillusioned. No, Jimmy's mace because of his fists.
Oh.
His fists were like maces.
Okay.
And so that's why he fights hand to hand.
Yes.
But he slowly became disillusioned after seeing too many beatings of seemingly innocent people, and eventually he was going to leave.
Yeah.
When he met the old Cragnut, the goblin cleric that convinced him to find his fortune elsewhere. But he saw, even though he is an orc, he saw in his heart that what he was doing was wrong, and he had he wants to get back at the Merchants Guild in some way.
Right, but you haven't yet ascertained how you can sort of strike at them. Like help this.
Well, we haven't given names of any senior members of the Merchants Guild, but
you know them.
Could possibly come.
You know them.
Hey, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
So, well, what we can say, or what may help you, is because you've been in Ironspire and you have helped a few people, we can say that your contacts or your allies in Pharaoh, the stonemason, and Farrick, who's, well, brother Farrick as he's known in the Order, or the Order of the Silent Star,
yes.
they're also, I mean, they don't like the way the Merchant Guild is, has a tyrannical grip over Ironspire. So they are also sort of like an underground guerrilla movement that they're trying to build some momentum as well to help undermine.
Yurek's probably not their favourite at the moment. So
who's that?
Yurek's probably not their favourite at the moment, considering I lost his brother.
Yeah, but you brought his back the body, so remember that was sort of.
Oh, that's true. I did.
You did. So
bring back
able to
Marcus,
bury him.
yeah.
You didn't come empty-handed, so he's appreciative of that at least. But yeah,
Sure.
so we can say that they're trying to do things to help also weaken the Merchants Guild grip. And on that note, if you recall last time, and for the viewers last time, you have been sliding some coin to Tharo,
Yes.
thanking him for your help, or his help. Well, actually, I don't know why you gave him the gold, but you gave him some gold.
Oh, because, he helped me out. I got a heap of gold out of it, so
Yeah, fair enough.
need him for his time.
He does tell you, like, he gives you board, and you sort of share responsibility for payments, that sort of stuff. But he tells you that the word on the street is that the Merchants Guild well, they've got and you know this, they have recruiters who help hire heavies. They probably needed to go out after you left to replace you, but word is they're planning on recruiting some external elements, nefarious types from outside the city, getting them into the city. You don't know for what reason, but he's heard that they don't want any local talent. They're looking for outsiders. So some of the recruiters have left the city, and Tharrow's heard that that's the reason. They're looking to bring some elements in.
Getting outsiders.
Yep. And he tells you this on the lowdown, obviously, because he sort of functions within that guild and pays them his dues just so he can operate his stone work business. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Stonemason?
Yeah, stonemason.
And he probably got that info from Aaron. Guys have trouble saying his grandson's name, but Aaron Dor. His grandson. He probably operates with the what do you call the kids and that on the streets? They're not vagabonds.
Oh, the Beggars Guild, or
yeah, there's a name for them, but urchins. The street urchins. Yeah.
Oh, the urchins.
The urchins. Yeah,
Right,
yeah. So he sort of operates amongst them, and they had word of that.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, that's just a bit of a bit of flavour. But nonetheless, you're in the business. You and Ari are in the business of making coin through adventuring, and you are part of the Adventurers Guild. Not that you've used them per se for your previous adventures, because you've sort of determined those organically. But you have heard that north of the city, so outside of the city, not much work. You haven't found any further work within the city, but word has reached you that a warden of the Dark Forest by the name of Omor Talltree, he's well known because he's a warden of the forest, is like a guardian who looks generally.
What's his name? Owen.
Omor, O''Mor.
Rightio.
Omor Talltree, okay. A warden of the forest. Normally they're in the employ of the king,
like a ranger.
Yeah, he'd be like a ranger
Sure.
type. You've never met him, but you have heard the name. He lives in a tower south of the Dark Forest, and he has sent out word that the forest has been assailed by bandits who are causing issues with travelers that cut through the forest to get from Ironspire to the next major settlement north. And the reason why it's important to secure that route is that there's a lot of orcs, there you go, war bands on the outskirts of the forest. So if they can't travel safely through the forest, they're being forced around, and that can be precarious, as well as taking 3 times the travel going across the... Yes, they can say goodnight. I don't have to pause because I actually don't know how to pause. Probably break it.
Hello.
They just want their 15 seconds. They just waited for this to start, and then while Taz is doing that, I'll see if I can get another track ready. Riveting YouTube right here, folks. So let's have a look at some music that we're playing at the moment. A track by Alexander Nakarada, copyright free. Let's have a look what else we can play here. What's he got? This one looks alright.
Live TV, folks. That's live TV
there
for you.
There he is. Did anyone come here? Or they weren't coming. Yeah. I thought they were going to come on.
No. Never work with animals and children, they say.
There you go. I was building it up too. I was trying to get the audience fired up. And I was telling him a bit about the audio that we're using. Anyway. Okay. So the first thing we are going to do. Well, do you have any questions about this?
Not at this stage at the moment. Oh, so we're going to speak with the warden. Is that right?
Yep, you've got that option because you do need to travel to the Dark Wood in order to find out what's going on. And you do have to pass his tower to get there. But the objective is basically if you can find out what's happening and put an end to this the bandit activity, then you'll be paid by Omar or
Oh,
his his people.
the Silver Star. Yep.
No, nothing to do with the Silent Star.
Oh, nothing to do with
No,
them.
no.
Okay, all right.
This guy is known as the Warden of the
Hey, what
Forest.
this stonemason, mate? He's got the finger on the pulse. He's the man to talk to. To get all the info.
Thorough, your old mate Thorough.
Arrow, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, he's heard, as he said, he doesn't like, getting involved, but he did hear it, bits and pieces in discussions and also from his grandson.
Yeah, he likes spreading the rumors. That's for sure.
I only want to help, he says. They have bled me dry, these, this guild that you were once part
That's true.
of.
That's true. Yeah.
It is time someone
I do
stood up
know
to
that-
them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
do
get-
know that they're known for standing over businesses that don't pay them the fees. So
I even had to pay an extra fee when that rock grub destroyed my business, and you saved my grandson to rebuild. I had to
Yes.
also pay a rebuild fee. Can you believe it?
I can believe it. I've seen it. I've seen it in action. Thorough.
But
I was one
anyway,
of those strong men pushing other people around.
he says, I know, but you are now a different orc, Jimmy. We do not see you like that. And Arendelle says, you're a hero, Jimmy.
Thank you, little one.
And
Pat him on the head.
you pat him on the head, and Ari says, he also saved my life. This is all your praise is going upon you.
Oh, that's true. See, here we go. Buttering me
Yeah.
up. I'm buttering me up for something. I'm gonna
Even
fall. I'm gonna
though
fall.
I am sad,
yeah.
not only for the loss of my brother who I seek to find, but also for my little friend. I'm hoping that I will be able to replace little Pat with another companion, perhaps after
Oh
this
yes.
adventure, if you can drop a coin. I do like animals.
All right, I'm just making a note of that.
Hmm.
We'll see how we go. We may find an animal companion in the dark wood that may be more to
Oh.
your liking.
Okay. Actually, you can, if you have someone as Pathfinder. Do you have Pathfinder?
No,
No,
I don't
okay.
think I do.
That's all right. Yeah, well, you might find someone. Okay, so first of all, so you basically, the Adventurers Guild gives you this information within the city. Okay, they say, yep, he's looking for 2 adventurers. That's the payment. In order to route out this this bandit activity, and essentially they're willing to pay 2 heroes worth of reward, so they don't care how many people you want to bring along, but you're only going to get 2 heroes payments,
Oh,
sort of 2 persons.
it's all right. The Highling's been paid for his
Yeah,
work.
he's done. He's happy to do for this adventure, so he doesn't
Good.
get any cut. He's not expecting anything, and he has to return all equipment found if he decides to
Right.
not keep
That's
adventure.
That's 6 gold that I had to pay for him. That's it.
That's
Is
it.
6 gold per adventure.
Yeah.
Oh
But-
wow.
Yeah.
It's a good deal.
Yeah, so it's pretty much he'll come along and accompany you, and he's humble, so he's very thankful.
Yes, doesn't say much.
Doesn't say much. He's just ready to carry this equipment for you, Jimmy. I don't.
He's part of the party.
I've never been outside
Sorry,
of
I
the
didn't introduce
city.
myself.
I'm looking forward to seeing the outside world.
Well, he's a barbarian, so returning to the outside
Ah,
world, he's probably a bit
Actually,
uncomfortable
yes, I have
being
travelled.
in the city.
I forgot he was a barbarian. Yes, back to my roots. All of a sudden, his
Mm.
voice becomes more gruff for some reason. I don't
Or
know.
gravelly. Oh,
what happened
definitely.
with that.
Yeah.
Okay, Jirak, let's get serious. First of all, roll 1 dice and add 1. That's how many hero points you get to start with. Same with Arabella.
Oh, that's not a good start. Oh dear.
Well, 2 points is better than
Okay.
1.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. Better than a punch in the face. But
What about
not much
Ari?
better.
Is Ari more blessed?
Ari.
5.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
better.
Okay, so
So pop those in. You can use hero points for your hireling as well.
of course.
Now the hireling is assigned to you, so only you can
That's
use
right.
hero points for. So he pretty much JB is. I work for Jimmy. You know,
Said he
but
knows his role.
he says, obviously, he says, he looks at Ari and says, we're part of a team. So if you need help, I'm happy to help. He seems like a good bloke, this JB.
He's got a certain set of skills.
Yeah. So what's his skills again? He's got some underground law. Okay, yeah. So he used to live in the
underground and two-handed
two-handed throwing.
throwing.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. All right. Um, okay. With that being said, let us roll to see how far it is to the forest. Roll a d6. The lower you roll, the closer it is. Oh, 4 days of travel.
Okay.
So remember, it'll be 1 provision or 2 silver pieces per day of travel for every person, including your hireling, Johnny Bricks.
So that's 6 silver pieces per day times 4 is so that's 4 gold. Okay.
Keep the provisions and pay the fees.
Pay the fees, we will.
Okay, no problem at all. So actually, while you were saying goodnight to your kids, I was just going to try something else. Get this track ready with a different player. Be good if it works. Come on, it's rolling the dice.
It's crossed.
Okay, it does work. So it looks like you can't copy from Spotify app, but you need to use the browser. There you go, folks. If you're ever thinking of that, that's...
So now I've got 2 extra things on my screen, a chip 1 and chip 2. Chip 2 is obviously the new music.
Yes, but that won't play until there's battle. So that's playing in the... it's active in the server, but it's silent.
Yep.
So then I can just switch it across. If if there is any battle, could just be a nice romp into the dark wood.
So a bit of role playing, ROLE. Look out.
There we go. So as the party strikes off, the journey there north to Darkwood is uneventful, and as you near, you can see the vast arboreal expanse that sort of covers the plains that you're traveling across, and beyond the Darkwood you can see the rugged mountains of the northern reaches where the next major city will be. And as you approach this vast expanse, what looms in front of you at the edge of the forest is a tower. So I'll paste the tower in the chat, and then we'll do a roll.
Say a dark tower?
Well, it's not called the Dark Tower, it's the Warden's Tower.
Oh,
I
recognise that tower. Yes.
I don't think it's got a name per se, but you've been told that there's, you'll know it when you see it. And as you see it, it does look quite fancy indeed. Let's roll for the weather. So roll a d6. The lower you roll, the better the weather.
Ooh, that's not too bad.
Yep. 2 is a fine, dry day. Awesome.
Lovely.
Probably mild. So I'm going to say mild, fine, and you can also roll a d6 for the time of day when you arrive at the tower. Lower the roll, the earlier in the day. Oh, first light.
Early.
So basically, you've had a bivouac by the hillside, and then in the morning you've walked over a crest, and the tower has presented itself. You can see
one of Johnny's skills is he makes a nice cup of joe and hands that out in the morning, so we're all fresh and ready to go.
Yep. Well, you didn't buy any you didn't use any provisions, but he does make the tea just as a refreshment. Essentially, you are able to find peddlers or traders on the way, and that you basically purchased from them various snacks and treats. So he bought some tea from one of them, and he boils that up. You finish off your tea, and he's a humble guy. He doesn't say much, like you mentioned. Doesn't brag about anything, but you can see that he's happy to be outdoors, and you don't think it's going to be an issue. Ari, on the other hand, she's been saying all along, I don't like traveling too far away from the city. We just don't know who we can trust. There's a lot of unknowns. She's basically Sort
We
of.
need allies to if we want to find your brother as well as defeat the Merchants Guild. And this seems to be the best way to do it to find outsiders. Like
Um,
you said, we cannot trust anyone inside the city. Maybe we can find people that will help us outside the city.
she says, I know Jirak. I know. Oh, she doesn't call you Jirak. She says, I know Jimmy. Not too sure about this one. He seems too nice for a goblin.
Very pretty racist of you, Ari.
She tells you that when he's
They're not.
sleeping. She never
They're
says
not.
anything in front of his face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're not. When they're not all the same,
yeah. And you did see her one
as you have
morning.
seen by myself.
Yeah, she
Judge
says,
me by my
I know, but
race to you.
you've proven in deeds. I'm yet to see anything from this one other than give compliments and tea. But
Makes a good cup of tea.
you did notice one morning when you woke up a little bit earlier than you should have, she was like rifling through his stuff. And she said, I
I
just
thought you
want,
were going to say, yeah, Johnny's left some mints on our pillows or something. But no, he hasn't.
So, even though she's pleasant to him, she
Yeah,
looks at him with a side eye, just to see if he's.
she is. Yeah. What was her thing? She was. She's paranoid. She is paranoid. Fair enough.
She sleeps with one eye open. She doesn't want to wake up with the spear shish kebabbed.
Gripping her pillow tight.
Those aren't pillows. Anyway, as you arrive at the tower, all is fairly peaceful in the surrounds. You can hear the sounds of birds and animals and life. The forest itself is lush and green. The sky is clear. The sun is just breaking over the horizon. So you feel good. You feel like the top of the world. Ari's, quite pleasant, and JB's singing a bit of a tune.
Was that death's door? I've seen the light.
You're at death's door?
Now, yeah, it was. Remember, I nearly died.
Oh, I thought Ari nearly died.
Oh, was it Ari? Oh, one of us is death door.
Yeah, Ari
I
literally
brought it
was
back,
dying. Ari was dying. But yeah, anyway, you see this tower, and you also notice the forest seems very thick, but there clearly is, given the daylight, a path that strikes directly into it.
Right.
So we'll say the tower isn't next to this path, so you could either head to the tower or you could head straight into the forest.
No, let's go to the tower.
All right. You approach the tower, and I'll assume you're going first, and JB is following, and then Ari at the rear, because she still doesn't really want to walk in front of him in case he decides to. Anyway, as you approach there, JB sort of steps back, props back unless you want to tell him to do something, and Ari also, stays, close proximity to him, allowing you to go to the door.
Okay. Do we know who's in this tower? We're expecting.
You've been told that
Omar.
Omar lives. He's the guardian of this forest, or the warden. Sorry, he's believed to live
Sure.
in the tower.
Okay. What do we see at the front? Is there a sign?
You
Or is
see
there
an
a
elaborate
bell?
door with no door handle, and the tower is a far distance. It goes, it's as high as the treetops, and it's all carved in wood and is elaborate in its carvings. Like that sort of embellishes the embellishments on there suggest that. And there's also multi-stain pieces of glass, which is like a well-to-do thing. It's whoever's done this wasn't short of a penny, let's just say.
Can either of us make mind checks to see if we know anything more about Omar?
Um,
None of us have got any special skill, I wouldn't have
no mind check unless you've got arcane or religion.
thought. No.
No, the only way to know more about Omar, apart from his role, is a hero point. And you can ask a question.
Nope.
As you're at the door, it opens.
Yes.
Oh, and this gentleman, he looks very young looking. I don't know what you're expecting, but a young looking gentleman with pointy ears, quite slender,
Well, that's not what I was
appears
expecting. No.
appears in the doorway, seemingly expecting you, as he says, "I've been expecting you." And he has a very polite voice, and he's wearing regal robes, suggesting his position of authority in this area. But his temperament sort of is opposite to his very fancy demeanor. And he says, "Thank you for heeding my call. Who do we have here?"
My name is Burak, and these are my companions, Ari and Johnny.
They raise their hands, to acknowledge. "Oh, I am Omar Talltree, Jimmy, but you probably knew that. I assume you wish to head
How did you
off."
know my name was Jimmy? I've said my name is Jirak.
Oh, but I know that Jimmy is a friendly term for Jirak in the Orc tongue,
Ah,
is it not?
your knowledge is impressive.
I am
You
not
know the
un
Orcish ways.
I'm not unfamiliar with orcs, and I'm not prejudiced in them. I know that we are having troubles with some of the orc bands, but I believe all communities uh, live by their own deeds and their own ways, and I will not cast a, a brush across all of communities. I believe that is the only way to peace.
Just elbow Ari, say, see?
And Ari's just looking at him. Don't know about this one.
Don't trust him. Don't trust him.
Um, Omar continues saying, "I assume you wish to head off without delay to deal with this problem. It has already been many days past, and we've had a few other incidents since I sent word that we need help. The gateway to the forest stretches yonder," and he points to the path that leads into the
What
forest.
should we look for, Ermore?
"Oh, yes, yes. I'm sorry that if I seem to want to push you away, but I just fear that with every passing minute there can be more perils for those who are traveling through. But from words of those that have managed to get through unscathed, they've reported being assailed by a number of short and skinny humanoids." And he sort of looks towards JB, but then turns his attention back to you
Oh,
after he
okay.
says that.
Goblinoids? Yes.
I have not seen them myself, but now that you have mentioned it, I would say that they would have the same physical characteristics of your friend JB, did you say? He says, Johnny Bricks at your service. Happy to serve.
He's a lot deeper. He's a lot deeper. He's
Johnny
yeah.
Bricks. Johnny Bricks here.
He
Happy to
keeps it very
serve.
quiet.
Just want to do my bit, nothing more. And then you see Ari just looks in the air, this. She sees through the
Bloody
rouse.
goblins.
Yeah.
What, does she look at me in the face and go, see? See, goblins are trouble.
Oh, yes. Oh, damn,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
She takes 2 side steps away from JB at the word of this news.
It's all an elaborate trap. She's worked it out.
She knows it wasn't coincidence that he volunteered and was the one available.
Sure. All right. Can you offer us any supplies, good warden?
What is it you require? I assume that adventurers would come ready and prepared.
And surely you would know some areas where these goblins might encounter.
I can definitely say that it seems clear that all of the attacks seem to occur close by the crossroads, which is half a day north. It is a blessing that you have come so early in the morning, so that you should reach by early afternoon should you have no problems on the way.
The crossroads is just literally the crossroads, the cross of 2 roads?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. Sounds like your music's shit itself. Right.
Yeah, I'll unmute the other one.
Yeah, that's all right. We might finish this scene up and then we'll have to call it quits.
Yeah, okay. So with that information, he says, "Is there anything else I can avail you with?"
Would there be anything else in the dark wood that need to be made aware of?
Um, what else can I tell you? I can say that it seems as though none of the people that have been robbed have been killed, although some have been injured when they tried to resist.
Oh, so
Uh,
there's been robberies. Okay,
yes, valuables and weapons are the things they pilfered in their ambushes. I
right.
also recall one reported that although they had just rested, they felt drowsy before the ambush occurred. I'm not sure if that it was just coincidence or whether
Magic.
some magic could be at play.
Okay. Make sure I look at my notes next session because otherwise I'll forget all of that.
A good player always covers his notes.
Write shit down. Yeah.
That's it. I don't think this museum
Right.
playing. I can't hear anything.
No, I think it's died. That's okay.
It says it's playing, but no dice.
Yeah, in theory.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, you've provided as much information as you can, and you are looking for us to stop these goblin attacks and return with some sort of proof to
He
you.
puts his hands, he says, I do not want to know about how you wish to deal with this problem. All I can say is that when you return, if your word is true and you tell me you have done it, I will pay truly. But if we find that later the same problem has um, recommenced, then I would trust that you would come to finish the job.
We understand. Thank you
But
for your
I'm not
time,
one
Good
to,
Warden.
your word is enough. I do not require proof as you put it.
Very trusting.
I think we all must be more trustful. I've seen darker days, and I do not want this problem to be the tip of that spear.
Oh, what do you have to do to become a warden of the forest,
Oh,
Omar?
well,
Dwarf.
I would like to say that it's something that I earned, but it has been an honor passed down to me from generations from my grandfather who served the king in the war of the Great War a century past. And now I look onto the forest, look over it. It is a lonely existence, but it is one that I complete with honor.
Interesting backstory. If only
Well,
we had time to develop it further.
and what of you, Jimmy? May I ask, what brings you to the way of the adventurer?
Uh, I was formerly a bone breaker in the city of Iron Spire.
You see, Ari's
I
saying
saw,
this. Ari's just going, don't tell this guy anything.
I saw, I saw some things which I did not agree with, and thought my way should be to absolve myself of those issues that occurred. And
Redemption. It is a fine
redemption,
trait.
that is the word. It is a hard thing to say in the Orcish tongue. Redemption.
Do not be afraid of your true calling, Jimmy, for the world needs more heroes. If only the music worked right then. Dun, dun,
Uh-huh.
dun, 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 dun.
That's
It
where you
was
go the big star wipe. Everything
yeah, that's it.
go to
Um,
the title.
you see that JB is quite inspired by this conversation between you and um, Omar, but Ari
He
says,
knows his place.
shouldn't we be getting on, Jimmy?
We should. We should.
Idle chatters for
We will see
housewives.
you in approximately a day's time. Hopefully, hopefully
He's very
the
impressed at that prediction.
yeah the report. Hopefully, we can resolve this issue promptly.
Well, I will say that in since the word was sent out, it has been 4 moons since that you've taken to get here, and there's been two parties that have passed through and said that they were um, taken advantage of. So that's two attacks in 4 days.
Right.
Yep. So
Okay.
there's getting quite they are quite active, and also They seem to be very bold and um, not selective in their targets. Any that pass through are assailed. So take care as you travel the dark forest.
All right. Thank you, good sir. We shall continue.
May the blessings of
Can
the gods go with you, heroes
you
of
have
the
any tea?
forest.
You have any tea?
Tea, of course.
Yes.
All civilized folk should have tea.
Can we possibly purchase some tea bags for the
Purchase,
journey?
he says, I will not have any of it. And he goes in, he reaches in, and he gives you, you can put as your zero item. You've got six
Yes.
serves of high elven tea, he tells you.
All right. I'll give that to Jim to Johnny.
Okay, put on his equipment.
Murray
He's
must
like,
be flipping out, thinking no one gives anything for nothing. Something's going on here.
she's not drinking it. There's no, well, she's not going to drink it first, let's just say.
So 6 by what is it? High Elven
High
tea.
elven tea. Unfortunately, I cannot offer you a pot, as I only have one. And JB says, "Oh,
That's
that's
all right.
okay." He shows you his brass
Yes.
brass teapot.
Yep. Sure. Sounds good.
Yeah, you might as well put on his zero item. He's got a tea set.
Yep. Okay. Done.
All right. I have a good feeling about this, Jimmy, Ari, and JB. The weather tells me good things. The forest seems alive and welcoming, and I sense great deeds will soon be past, and tales to
Sure.
tell. All right.
Thank you, Omar. We will and do our best to resolve this.
He gives you some sort of sign that you haven't seen before, and like he touches his heart and his head, and then points to the heavens,
Sure.
and he the
Do the
door.
old cover my fist with my other hand.
Okay, you do that, and JB copies you. Harry just does this. Who is this
She's just
guy?
picking the shit out of it, dirt out of her nails with a stiletto. Yeah.
Who is this guy? Um, okay, so the door closes almost on its own as Omar sort of slides backwards. You're like, okay, that didn't look very right. Um, anyway, so the entrance to the dark wood beckons. I assume you head off.
Sure. We'll head off into there. Might just wrap it up there, mate, if that's
No
okay.
worries at all. At the start of the next session, we will traverse into the dark wood for the meat of the adventure. I've been GMH. Any last words, Taz?
Uh, Pies just keep winning, boys. And hopefully, let's hope it warms up because I was freaking freezing out and soccer training for my boys tonight. So,
Pies and cold weather. That's Melbourne.
yeah,
That's Melbourne right
it's
there.
Melbourne for you.
All right, till next time. Signing off.
Cheers.